Hello and welcome to episode 27 of series 4 of the gaming channel. We are going to be playing Megaman the board game in a different version. The object of the game is to splash 2 divers and then move your way along Dr. Wily's castle and then face my girlfriend from school, AWR. The first person to wet her wins the game. We're going to roll the dice to see who goes first. So Megaman has rolled number 4, which means he'll be taking on Tonya Couch. Dr. Light has rolled a 3, so he's going to be taking on Alicia Blagg. And Dr. Wily has rolled 8, which means he'll be taking on Robin Birch. Right, we're all going to give all characters challenge cards. Here is the rules. If you complete a challenge, you move a space. If you complete a challenge, you continue until you fail a challenge. After you've won 4 challenges, you face a boss fight, just like you do in Megaman. If you beat him, your turn ends. If you fail the challenge, play pass over to your opponent. Here is the first challenge. Megaman will start. The first challenge is platforms. It requires an energy pellet to pass the challenge. So let's play. So Megaman has rolled an energy pellet. That means he's passed the challenge. And we flip over another card. We have the oil spill, which requires a jump to pass. A jump appears on one of the dice, so Megaman doesn't know to pass the next challenge. So we're going to flip another card over, and this time it's the lightning trap. It requires a run to pass the challenge. Here we go. So there's no run on any of the 4 dice, which means the challenge is failed, and play passes over to Dr. Light. His challenge is a sniper Joe defense. It requires a hit to pass the challenge. We roll all threat dice at once, 4 threat dice. And I can see that was a hit, which passes the challenge and moves Dr. Light onto step 1. The next challenge is a lava fall. You have to roll a aim to pass the challenge. If you roll 2 or more jumps, the challenge is failed, even if you can succeed. So we've got to aim, which passes the challenge. So Dr. Light gets another challenge. Dropping platforms. It requires 2 jumps to pass. So we have 3 runs and a Wily, which means the challenge is failed, and play passes over to Dr. Wily, who gets disappearing blocks, which requires a jump to pass the challenge. Roll 4 threat dice at once. First challenge, and Dr. Wily fails it. So that means I flip the next card over. It's Megaman's turn again. We have a Sniper Joe defense. It requires 2 aims to pass the challenge. We have a run, an energy pellet and 2 Wilys, so the challenge is failed. So Dr. Light gets Gate Guardian. It requires a hit and a jump to pass. 2 requirements. None of them shows, so the challenge is failed. So Dr. Wily gets another challenge, which is Pillar Leap. Well, that don't make sense. It requires a jump. So 3 aims and a hit, which fails the challenge. It goes back to Megaman. Lightning trap requires a jump to pass the challenge. So we've rolled a jump, the challenge is passed. So we move on to position number 3. We flip over another challenge card, and it's oil fire, which requires a jump to pass. And we got a jump, which takes us to 4, which means that Megaman now has to take on Tonya Couch. She takes 4 threat dice, hits deal 5 damage, a jump deals 2 damage, and a wily takes 2 damage. We need to roll 5 hits for her to get her swimming costume wet, which is the object of the game. So we've rolled a hit, which means that Tonya Couch walks down 1 step into the pool. Now the Dr. Wily player will control Tonya, the diver. She's rolled a jump and a wily, that takes 4 damage, so that means Megaman drops to 24. Now it's Megaman's turn. That's 2 hits, that means Tonya walks down 2 steps into the pool. The wily player will roll again. Jump, jump, hit, wily. That's 11 damage, so that takes Megaman down to 15. And we've got 2 hits, which means Tonya Couch goes down the 5th step, and she has wet her swimming costume, which means that Megaman, we clone it and we place it on the Tonya Couch token, which means that Megaman will have to take on another boss, which is number 2, which means that Megaman will now be taking on Rebecca Gallantry. Megaman's turn ends and passes over to, what's his name, Dr. Light. His challenge is tank piles, and it requires a run to succeed. Aim, energy pellet, aim. So that means the challenge is failed, and Dr. Wily gets to get another challenge, battery pit, which requires a hit. And it shows up, so Dr. Wily has completed his first challenge. That means another challenge, which is the hammer swing, which requires a hit and a jump to pass. We roll all 4 threat dice. None of them shown, so Dr. Wily has failed the challenge. So Megaman goes back to the start. Tonya Couch has been used up, so that card gets placed back into the pile. So it's Megaman's turn. The first challenge is a Saboteur Garden, which requires 2 aims to pass. We got 1, we failed the challenge because we needed 2. Dr. Light gets another challenge. Oh, it's a hard one. Wily's Ascension. It requires 3 Dr. Wileys. At least he got 1. Good try, but the challenge is failed. So Dr. Wily needs to roll 2 hits to beat this challenge called Watcher Invasion. Aim, pellet, does nothing. So Megaman gets another challenge card, which is Fire Pillars, which requires an aim to hit. No, all but fails a challenge. Dr. Light gets Blasters, which requires an aim. We roll our dice. The aim is there and passes a challenge. Dr. Wily follows next. Flame Gate. It requires 2 aims to pass the challenge. If you pass this challenge, you may move forward 1 additional space. We don't, because we rolled a run, a hit, a wily, and a pellet. Dr. Wily gets Bomb, which requires a jump to complete. It's a jump. Wiley moves another space. We flip over another challenge card. Conveyor belt. Requires 2 runs to pass the challenge. Run, run, run and a run. Wow, that's the best you can get. Passes a challenge. To reveal another challenge, scaffold tops. And aim to pass the challenge, 4 fret dice. We rolled as well. He's failed the challenge, which means I get to play. Megaman gets to play Joe Castle Defender, which requires 3 hits to kill. No, 3 energy pellets to kill. No, to pass the challenge. I'm thinking of Megaman the game. So we fail the challenge, which means Dr. Light gets another challenge card. Furnace Blast, which requires a run to pass. Jump, Pellets and Wiley's fail the challenge. Wiley gets another challenge, Frozen Lake. It requires a run to pass the challenge. The challenge is failed because we rolled a hit, a pellet, a jump and a Dr. Wiley, which doesn't show up on our card. So Megaman gets another challenge called Bomb Spikes. Needs a jump and a run to pass the challenge. We have a run, but we don't have a jump. The challenge is failed. So Dr. Light gets Block Barricade. It requires a run to pass the challenge. An aim and a jump is not what we want, so once again the challenge is failed. So Wiley gets the Fire Stream. Requires a run to pass the challenge. Jump, aim and Wiley. Does nothing. This is a really hard one. Close Quarters. Requires 3 hits to pass the challenge. And we get 3 hits. We've beaten one of the hardest challenges in the entire game. Which means I get another challenge, which is the Blaster Climb, which requires a hit and an energy pellet to pass. We don't get any of them, so the challenge is failed. Big Eye Block requires a run and an energy pellet to pass. We've got a run and an energy pellet. So Dr. Light has completed 4 challenges and now gets to take on Alicia Blagg in a boss battle, and we've got less than 2 minutes to go. So let's take a look at the card. So she has 3 fret dice, hits take 8 damage, a jump takes 2 damage, and your Wiley, your opponent, loses 1 fret. So Dr. Light takes his roll. So she's rolled 2 hits, which means Alicia Blagg walks down 2 steps into the pool. Now, a hit, that means that Dr. Light drops to 20 health. Is that a hit? That means she walks down 3 steps. Third step, she takes control. A Wiley, a jump and a hit. That means Dr. Light gets 10 health left. So that means Dr. Light loses 1 fret because of the Wiley. We've rolled a hit, so Alicia Blagg walks down step number 4. The water is quite close to a swimming costume. She's rolled a Wiley, which means we lose 1 fret. Nothing. Hit, 24 damage, which means Dr. Light has failed to beat the Robot Master or the Diver. And we're going to have to leave it there until our next episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.